How's it going, everybody? This is Brian for Pop Culture Crossing, and today we are talking about the movie Bridge of Spies. So, thinking about the Cold War often conjures thoughts or memories of proxy wars, the domino theory, the nuclear arms race, mutually assured destruction, and spies infiltrating each side of the Soviet side and their satellite states, as well as the Western nations. Now, Steven Spielberg's movie Bridge of Spies taps into this spy element, but it does so in a creative manner that helps set the movie apart from other films in the genre. So, Bridge of Spies' tone is decidedly tense and slightly shrouded in this mystery of spies infiltrating each side. Now, the film, is not a traditional spy movie per se. Rather, it follows the story of James B. Donovan, an insurance lawyer who ends up getting roped into a situation where he is selected to defend a Soviet spy named Rudolph Abel. Now, throughout the ordeal, Donovan exhibits strong determination to see that his client is in fact represented properly and given a fair trial. He is a strong proponent of the legal maxim innocent till proven guilty and, represents his case in such a way. However, few others in the legal situation of this feel the same way. The judge himself, Judge Byers, even breaks the impartiality of the bench and states that he fully expects to pronounce Abel's guilt in his trial. This illustrates a clear juxtaposition of the notions of litigious objectivity on one side and national interest-based pragmatism on the other, where you pretty much suspend your rules and ethics and do whatever you have to do to get an objective done. Throughout the trial, Donovan adopts the notion of fiat justitia e pereat mundus, which is a Latin phrase that means let justice be done though the world perish. And he expertly embodies this notion because he doesn't care what other people think, what other elements in the given situation, may be trying to convince him to do. He wants to make sure that his client is given the benefit of the doubt and his guilt, is proven legally. So concurrent to the trial, on the flip side of the coin here, the CIA is developing a new spy plane, which is a high elevation reconnaissance plane, and they bill it as a plane that, flies so high that the enemy can't shoot it down. Well, this means the enemy shoots it down. And because of that, the American pilot manning the vehicle is captured and taken prisoner by the Soviets. So this American prisoner in Soviet custody and Abel, a Soviet spy in American custody, now leads to this, is conducive for both sides to leverage each prisoner in an attempt to successfully complete a prisoner exchange. So the story here is complicated even further into another degree when an American graduate student is captured in East Germany. Now, Donovan is then recruited by the CIA to help serve as a non-governmental individual to kind of be the liaison between the Soviets and the Americans. Because of this grad student, sadly, the CIA is only concerned with rescuing the pilot. They really don't have any regard or care for the status or well-being of the student. But because of Donovan's integrity and, high moral values, he doesn't agree with the CIA, and instead he wants to make sure that both Americans come home safely. So he sets out on a mission to jockey with both the East Germans and the Soviets to strike a prisoner exchange deal of 2 Americans for 1 Soviet. Now, overall, Bridge of Spies has very good, fluid pacing. Some may think that a movie about a lawyer representing a spy and trying to, play the situation with multiple parties would be pretty mundane and not very exciting and kind of tedious. But however, that is not the case with this movie, and the gripping narrative and just tension that builds throughout the progression of the movie really just grabs your attention, and definitely had me very interested for the duration of the film. So going into the movie, I'll say that I didn't really know a whole lot about this beforehand. I really only thought that it was, another Cold War spy film, kind of akin to The Good Shepherd. But I was pleasantly surprised and really happy that it took a turn in this different direction. And I think overall that helps the spy and Cold War genres as a whole themselves. The performances here are very well done. Tom Hanks as James Donovan just is exceptional. For the first few minutes, I'll admit that, I was seeing more of Tom Hanks than Donovan, but as the story developed and more of the nuances of the story and Donovan's character traits became known, then Hanks and Donovan really blended together quite seamlessly. Now, Mark Rylance's portrayal of Abel is terrifically acted, and Abel's just stoic demeanor throughout the entirety of the movie is very well communicated, and it actually is an important takeaway for viewers today, despite Abel being a Soviet spy. But because he wasn't stressed out by any element of his situation, he just took things as they were, and Donovan even notes this several times and asks Abel about his lack of worry, and Abel just calmly responds, would it help? Like, would his worrying help the situation? No, so why is he going to worry? He's not going to. That's a waste of his time and emotions. So that's an important takeaway and lesson for us all today. Now, the production design and the wardrobe for the Bridge of Spies was very well done. The set pieces and CGI, particularly for the East Germany sequences, is very convincing. You definitely see this clear disparity between the life and society and just aesthetic of East Germany and kind of the Soviet territories compared to America and the West. And this is a very stark difference, and it's well communicated and done so in a very clear manner. And, there's a East German lawyer who just embodies this notion. He dresses very well. He speeds around in the East German ruins in this little sports car, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb. And it's like, wow, that couldn't be any more obvious. So that was very well done. Now, Steven Spielberg does a great job in his direction. All the moving parts of the narrative, the Abel's trial, Donovan's, situation with him kind of being antagonized by other Americans, the CIA situation and the American student, and just the various back and forth between Donovan and the East Germans and the Soviets. Those are all very well handled and presented in a smooth and very coherent manner. In the end, Bridge of Spies is a smart and enthralling movie. It is still a spy movie, but it is refreshing that it breaks the, traditional cookie cutter spy and Cold War mold. So this helps the movie really stand on its own 2 feet. And whether you, like lawyer movies, spy movies, Cold War movies, or you just want a good depiction of a story based on a true event, I definitely recommend Bridge of Spies. I don't think you'll regret seeing it, and I am curious to hear what you think about the movie. So, have you seen Bridge of Spies? If you have, comment below or hit me up on Twitter with what your favorite part of the movie was. I'm really curious to hear that. And also, regardless of whether or not you've seen the movie yet, let me know 2 things. 1, what is your favorite spy movie? And 2, what's your favorite Cold War era movie? I'm really curious to hear your picks there, so let me know on the social media and the comments below here what your thoughts are there about that, and we'll keep the conversation alive. As always, there's a written, more detailed review available at popculturecrossing.com. And if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and more importantly, share this with your family or friends or your social channels and help get the word out that way. I appreciate the help. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.